I knew that if there was any way that I could make a living, and I knew I wasn't good enough to play professionally or do anything like that, but when it came time to decide what to do, I thought, well, if I could talk about sports, what a great way that would be to make a living. So that's really how it got started.
For 22 seasons, the one constant for the women's basketball program has been radio play-by-play man Tim Newton. Coming on board in the early 90s, Newton has called the action for some of the best teams and some of the best players in program history. But one call stands out above the rest.
It's hard to say, and when you win a national championship, it's hard to top that.
As Katie Douglas throws the ball skyward, it's over. Purdue wins 62-45, capturing the national championship.
There was such pressure on that team and on that season because the expectations were so high going in, and anything short of a national championship that year would have been disappointing. I think really the most enjoyable seasons are the ones that you don't have real high expectations going in, but you're able to still have a great season. I think back on the '97 year when Nell Fortner was here, when a lot of players had left and the program's in a little bit of a transition period, and people thought that Purdue wouldn't win many games, and I was one of those people, and they wound up sharing a Big Ten championship. And to do that, they had to go over to Champaign on the last day of the season in front of a sold-out crowd and beat Illinois. They did it, and it was probably one of the greatest games in program history.
Knowing that program history is one of the real strengths of Newton's broadcast approach. He has a wealth of knowledge to draw from, having seen players like Stephanie White, Michelle Joseph, Sharika Wright, and Katie Geralds up close, although he does shy away from the label of program historian.
Yeah, you know, the memory starts to fade a little bit, but I have had a chance to see a lot of the great players that have come through here, so it's interesting when you go on that scores list and you see somebody like Brittany Rayburn move up the list and say, well, that she just passed this. Well, I saw that person play, or I saw that person play. So you do get a little bit more of a historical context because you've seen all the people that you're talking about now in these top tens, and you've seen how far the program has come over the years too.
Newton has seen the program win 7 Big Ten titles, 7 Big Ten tournament titles, make 8 Elite 8 appearances, and reach 3 Final Fours. He says there are a number of factors that converge to make this program what it is.
You've got a lot of fans who've been in Mackey Arena for 20 plus years, longer than I've been doing what I'm doing. So I think there's a great connection. I think the state of Indiana has such a great basketball tradition and heritage that if you get the best players year in and year out from the state, or some of the best players, you have a chance to be pretty competitive on the national level. And I think that the tradition begets tradition. So the better you do, the more people want to come here, and the more the program is able to sustain success. Unlike that sentence that I just said, the program is able to sustain success, and so they've been able to stay at a high level for a very long period of time.
Tim knows all about performing at a high level. He does so each and every broadcast. And as the Odyssey of the 2011-2012 season continues to unfold, the voice of the Boilermakers will be there every step of the